Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of the Horror Flick Chicks podcast. This
Drum
is me,
roll.
Sandra and Angie. Hello, back again with you guys. We have been recapping season two of The Last of Us, and we are on season two, episode six, which is called,
The
Who
price?
can guess it?
apparently it's called A Price. But before this, we like to say what the title of the episodes are, and I didn't really pay attention to it when I was watching it, and I'm looking it up, and I saw a different name, Sandra saw a different name, Angie saw a different name,
Yeah.
um, in with just like a Google search. But I think
Yeah.
the majority of the places we looked said the price, so it's called the price. We're gonna go with that.
Let's
Yeah.
go with that.
The price. Okay, what does that mean in relation to the episode? We'll have to talk about that, but. Let's
Yeah.
get right into it. The episode started off with a flashback of Tommy and Joel when they were younger at home in Texas. And apparently Tommy did something bad at school and was going to get in trouble. And he was scared that the father was going to come home and beat him.
Little Tommy was selling pot.
So,
No, he said he was
um,
buying it. He said he
Oh,
was buying
buying
it.
yeah.
it. Sorry.
So, and
He's
Joel.
not even profitable. He's trying to smoke it. What's going on, Tommy? You're a
And
mess.
Joel, as the protector, was trying to protect his brother even back then, and said, basically told him, "Dad's not going to do anything. I'll take care of
He's
it.
gonna do it to me.
I'll take care of Dad."
He's gonna,
Right.
yeah.
And Dad came home and ended up, he was trying to make it seem like he's the one that was doing the bad things, buying weed, but the father knew, and I think Joel just knew how to handle his dad,
Yeah.
you know?
So he was kind of like, Tommy was like nervous because his dad is abusive. So, he
And we
knew
should say that the dad was a cop.
the dad is
So
a
he
cop.
already knew before he walked in what happened because,
Oh yeah, because he heard it from his buddies
right.
who
So when
called.
Joel tried to say it was him and he said,
Yeah.
"Oh,
Yeah,
I already
so
know what happened," and
yeah, his dad is like, if you guys weren't my sons, you'd be in juvie right now.
right. And then he also told his dad, like, you're not gonna hit him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, protecting him, protecting
Right.
his little brother.
And
Protecting
then
his
after
little
he
brother.
tells him that, his dad shares a story about his abusive dad. So
Right.
like it's clearly like, the abuse trickling down. And the dad seems like he's really kind of like n- just kind of thinking that he's not as bad as his father was. So he's not thinking that he's abusing his
Right.
kids. He's thinking that he's disciplining them as best he can. And that still means violence, right?
And not as bad as his father was. So he thinks it's better. He's
Right.
doing better than his dad was. And he also tells Joel, you know, and then when you get older, you have your
When you
kid.
have, right.
Hopefully you won't be as bad as
As
me.
me. Right.
Right.
So that was a quick part in the beginning before the
That
credits.
was really sad, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. But, it led into this episode
Yeah.
six, which is really all about Joel and Ellie, and
Yeah.
the last few years, snippets of the last few years that they were together from
Right.
the last time we saw them.
It filled in some holes of the last few episodes where certain things happened or they talked about certain things and then
Yeah.
and we found because I know after episode 2, right, when we lost Joel, I said at some point they're gonna come back. Joel's gonna come back. They're gonna do
Yeah,
some
we talked
back
about
stuff
this.
because the first episode they skipped. I think it was five
It was
years.
5 years, yeah.
So at some point they were gonna go back and kind of
Mhm.
go over a bunch of stuff because we start to find out, about everything that happened with the
Like once they left the hospital,
and they
once
left Salt
they
Lake
left,
City, right? And because he lied to Ellie about the whole thing and all this stuff. So we knew at some point that all that stuff was going to come out. But like I said, they also filled in a bunch of holes um
yeah,
of things that happened in the last couple episodes with
yeah.
you know Ellie.
So a bunch of we found out a bunch of stuff actually. So they do show and when they are flashbacking to the times when Joel and Ellie were together, it was always on her birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which I thought was sweet. It's
Yeah. He was very sweet and you could tell that he loved her a lot, very much.
yeah.
I mean, even from last season, just the way he did what he did
yeah,
to keep her alive,
alive. Yeah,
to keep her with him, you know, you can tell that he loved her and he would do anything
yeah.
to protect her. But they did show, so they did show some scenes where Joel was with Ellie on the birthday, and she was in the beginning. She was excited, and he even was making her a guitar or
He was fixing a
refurbishing a
guitar,
guitar.
restoring one for
And
her.
yeah, for her birthday, and because he told her he had promised to teach her how to play, and
Right,
we made that. So we did see her a few episodes ago playing the guitar, and she did mention
right.
that she got it from Joel, and that he taught her.
Yeah.
So that was really sweet to see that,
So sweet.
and
And what was even sweeter?
all the detail that went into that guitar
Yeah.
Yeah.
was amazing.
Yeah, he did it with so much love. And then when he gave it to her, it was just so sweet how she was like, well, I don't play yet, so you sing for me, and it's my birthday, so you have to.
Right.
Right.
And he sings Future Days for her, which was the same piece that she was singing in the last episode where she got like choked up. So now we also can come,
Well, right. A lot of things we're connecting a lot of things to past episodes. There's even one point when they were scanning the room, she had it was like an album or a tape or something of Aha, and she sang "Take on Me" on one of the episodes
Yes,
too.
she did.
So
She did.
I thought
Yeah, that's
I
dope.
love this
These are
episode.
some good stuff.
I love this episode.
I
I thought
know.
it was so well done.
Yeah. It was
Um,
very moving, very touching,
Yeah.
super emotional, really showed us their relationship and how it sort
like
of
we
ties
see
the
like
whole
the
story
evolution of their
together.
relationship the last few
Yeah.
years. Yeah, so it was really nice. They even show because going back to a couple episodes when Dina found out that Ellie's immune, and they were talking about the burn on her arm,
Oh yeah.
said that she burned it because she had a bite marker on it, and she burned it because she wanted to wear short sleeves again. And she didn't want, and obviously she wore long sleeves
She
because
had to hide it,
she
yeah.
couldn't, she had to hide the bite. And one of the first parts of the episode was when Tommy was bringing her home because she was in the kitchen and she put her arm against like a pot to burn her arm. And that she said, I just want to wear short sleeves again. It's like, oh, that's good because that's what she had to bite and all this
Yeah.
stuff. So
And then I love how he just kind of like treats her like he called her baby girl and
I
like
know
his
he's so
daughter.
not
sweet.
the weird Nicole Kidman way, but like the sweet
No, it's
daughter
like
way.
he sees her as his daughter.
Yeah, it's real sweet their interactions, especially like in the beginnings there of the episode. Very sweet and playful and fun,
Yeah.
and
And
we
then,
only
like
get to
anything, she's growing older, she's becoming a teenager, she's showing signs of like rebellion. So like
yeah,
another year when she's 17, she's caught in bed with like another girl, and she's also getting a tattoo over it. So we see all
And
of that,
smoking
right?
weed.
And
and
smoking weed. Yeah. So he's like, now you're doing drugs and da da da. And she kind of like gets so pissed that she's like, that's it. I'm moving into the garage. And he's like,
Right.
you can't do that. It's cold out there. I get it. You want it. You want your own space. So like they were trying to figure that out.
yeah,
This is sort of, just kind of a natural progression of like
Right.
of children moving into adulthood, right?
And also, yeah, and it's nice because we know in the last few episodes that's where she's been living. So now we see how
How
that
it
How she
happened,
got
why
there.
that happened. We knew she wasn't on good terms with Joel before he died for a
Right,
while. So
right.
um so
Yeah.
yes, we see how that
And
happened.
you know,
So
in one of those scenes, we see her practicing something. She's practicing saying something to
Yes.
well,
She
she's
wanted to
practicing
question him.
asking questions about what happened in Salt Lake City.
right. So she's really curious and has been really digging at and eating at her that she needs to know like the story about the truth story.
The truth, because she
Yeah.
found some holes in his story, and
Right.
she wanted to question him about those kind of discrepancies.
But then
So
you can tell that she was trying to form her questions so it wouldn't be in
yes,
like an accusatory
uh,
way, like
attacking him or
attacking
anything.
him. Yeah.
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 So, yeah.
And you can, and she also and she also seemed to be very kind of nervous
Yeah.
to have to ask him
Yeah.
Yeah.
those questions. Nervous because but nervous, I don't know why, right? It could be because she doesn't want him to take offense by anything and she doesn't want him to get mad, or nervous that maybe she thinks that he'll keep lying and saying,
Or nervous to find out the truth.
or nervous to find out the truth. Yeah. So, yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
because
That if
you
we
kind of
see
get the
the
feeling that she's like, there's something you're not telling me, or you're
yeah.
lying or something.
Well,
So
she was practicing this, and I'm sure that, she did not intend it to come out the way that it did. But as it happens, when things are on your mind, like it happens, and you just kind of like spew it all. So it happened that night where, they were having after that party, and they're like both on the porch. I thought it was a really sweet moment again, where it's like just the two of them kind of looking out into the night and just she asked him directly like what happened, and he tells her that he could have basically saved the world but didn't because it would have cost her life, and he loves her and he didn't want to have her be hurt. And I thought that was so sweet because it's like, and then he was like, like he's also trying to figure out her sexuality and this and that, and like there it's kind of deep. And then he just goes into like very typical when a parent says to a child, one day maybe you might find out yourself, what this is like
to have a
be
child, to have,
afraid, yeah, to lose your child. Um,
he
and
basically says the same thing that his dad told him.
right,
Hopefully,
exactly.
when you have your kids or whatever, that you'll be a better parent.
yeah.
Yeah.
That he's not doing everything the right way, but hopefully
What
you'll be better than me.
what I thought was sweet about that was that she was just like, like he just was so nervous about telling her the
You
truth.
was,
He told her
yeah.
the truth. And, the look on her face just said like, oh my God, I'm n never gonna, I can't trust him or whatever. But she, got the truth from him, and she was like, well, I'm gonna have to try to get over this because she loves him too.
Yeah, she wants to try
I
and
mean,
find a way to get through this or get over this. That she said
yeah,
And
something to that
right.
effect. And yeah,
And remember when we first saw this beginnings of this scene a few episodes back, well, in episode one, it wasn't the first episode.
yeah,
Um, we didn't know what happened because they didn't
no,
show them talking. Going back a little bit,
yeah.
after after Ellie's moved into the garage and all this stuff, and she's also been hounding him and asking him about starting to go on patrol because at that point he wasn't letting
yeah,
her.
yeah.
So after that whole thing, he found her in the room with all the stuff, with the girl and the weed and the tattoo and whatever. And he come talk to her and said, "Come on, I'm gonna go on patrol." And he's taking her out.
Well, that was another year had passed and it was her birthday again.
Right.
And she
Yeah.
had been living in the in the
Garage for
garage
some
for a
time.
while,
Yeah.
and he decided to get her up early and tell her, I made arrangements and you're gonna go on patrol with me. We'll start now, with me. We can go together. So,
Right. Because
and
there was a point where they weren't like she was completely not talking to him
yeah.
at all in the beginnings
Oh
of the
yeah,
season.
yeah.
So this is kind of where it all started. They go on
Yeah.
patrol and they get a call from another, I guess another team that's out patrolling that they need help, and so they go to try and help, and then they find a guy in the woods. It's Eugene. So Eugene is the therapist, her name, Gail,
Gail.
her
Yeah.
husband. And again, in the first episode, when uh Joel was seeing Gail, like, as a therapist, we do find out, we don't know exactly what happened, but we do find out that Joel killed him.
Hmm.
Of course, at that moment, I think most of us were thinking he was bit and or he was already turned
And then he,
and he had to kill him because he was gonna attack them, whatever. Um, but what we find out is that they find him in the woods and he's basically like, stay back.
with a bite. Yeah.
And he asked him if he was bitten, and he opened his shirt and he said, yeah, I am, you know. And all he kept saying is that I wanna see Gail. I just want to see Gail to say bye to her because he knows he's
And they did determine mostly, Ellie with Ellie's insistence, right? They did determine that he had some time before he was going to turn,
yes,
and she wanted to make his, last request
yeah. She
happen.
yes,
He wanted it to
Joel was
happen.
ready to, because he was saying he wanted to go and see Gail, and he kept saying, we can't do that. It's like it's too dangerous. Can't.
Right.
And Ellie kind of gave him a test, and he says he has time. We have time to take him so he can say goodbye to her, and then because he knows he's done. He
Right.
knows he's done for, but he just wants to say goodbye to his
He
wife and
wanted to
say,
see, and he wanted to see her face
Yeah.
right.
last time. Yeah.
So Joel sends her, go get the horses and we'll meet you there. I'll walk with him. And Joel walks him to like another part of the woods
Yeah.
and
He's just like, okay, you know what? Just tell me your last
Ultimately,
words for her. I'll
I'll tell her,
send that
right.
to
I
him.
will tell her.
And he
And
was,
and Eugene knows. He's like,
as soon as he sent Ellie away to get the horses and stuff, I was like,
yeah,
this
I
guy
knew
is
too.
gonna,
I
yeah,
knew too.
yeah,
And once they get to that little cliff area where he took him to, Eugene knew that he wasn't taking him back. And he was still kind of asking for it, but he knew he wasn't going to.
yeah,
I just want to see her face. And
yeah,
Joel told him, when you love someone, you can always see their face. So he closed his eyes and he said, I see her.
yeah.
And
So sweet. Also, I just want to note, the casting for this is just incredible. Eugene was played by Joe Pantoliano, very famous actor who's been in many things from The Sopranos, Memento. And he's such a great
Bad
actor.
Boys. He was in
So
Bad Boy, all the Bad Boy movies.
yeah, yeah.
the Goonies,
Oh, the
Yes,
Goonies too. Yeah.
Goonies. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yep.
Taking it back.
taking it back.
I was not alive. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, right.
So great acting, and yeah, so this is the moment that we're also like it's unraveling now in this episode where because Gail, we had known about this, but we didn't know how it
We
happened.
didn't know how it
And
happened. Yeah.
so
They answered
now,
a lot of questions in this
right.
episode.
It did answer a lot of questions. And then so they come back and Ellie comes back to where he was and he sees Eugene dead. And she knows because he told Ellie told him, I'm gonna take him back. And he said, I promise.
Yep.
And obviously he did it. So they drag him, they tie him up and they bring him back. And and Gail is there and sees him and Tommy's there. And Joel starts telling her a lie, pretty much.
Yeah.
Found him there, he was bit, and like,
He wanted to go and he did it himself actually.
yeah,
Like he turned the gun on
he didn't want to
himself.
hurt anyone. He wanted me to tell you that he loved you, and he did it himself and whatever. And Ellie just
I
said
knew she was gonna do that. She
that's
was
not
pissed.
true.
She was
And
pissed.
she told everything what happened. He had time. He could have came,
Yeah.
and Joel was pissed
Told
too.
on Joel, man. Tattletale.
And then and Gail smacked him and was just so upset. And that from that moment, it was when it was like Ellie was done with him.
Done with him. Yeah. That's why when they were at the barn, the New Year's Eve dance, and the whole thing happened with Dina and the kiss and the other guy
And
that
Slip.
called him name and Joel sucker punched him, and she was like, "Leave me alone, like
Mhm.
stop
I don't need your
bothering me.
help. Yeah.
I don't need you." And yeah, and then we get back to his place where he's
Yeah, after that, it goes into the scene where
where
she's
the
coming back
confessions
from the
come in
place,
about what
which
actually happened.
at first we just see her kind of walking by, but now
Yeah,
we see she came
before.
back.
Yeah,
This episode, we see that she came back and they actually talked and they kind of reconnected,
yeah. And
and
he confessed to what
things seem
actually
to be better.
happened.
He told her everything that actually happened, right? So
And it's sad because she called him selfish, which part of me also thinks that that's correct. He was selfish.
he was being
But
selfish.
like I get it, but then
Although, yeah,
you
I
know,
mean, yeah,
now they have to live
it's
in this
hard. It
world.
was a
it
hard decision.
it's a
A hard
really hard
decision.
call,
Hard
but to
decision.
truthfully, that's the perfect word because
Yeah,
it is selfish.
that's
I
just
mean,
what it was.
imagine being able to save the world
Right.
and not taking that chance because you're going to lose a person who's very close to you.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, yeah, I think a lot of parents would still do the same because like,
That's
Yeah.
you
that's
know,
the thing.
it's
That's a
and
tough
the
thing.
other thing too
Yeah.
is knowing, I have to say this before we like move on really quickly. When Ellie had asked Eugene to sort of put his hands out and like see if like he was like shaking or anything,
Hmm.
I almost thought, even though I knew that Eugene has passed away, I almost thought for a second, is he one of the what is it? The
The
what
wolf?
no, like her, like he's like
Oh,
Oh,
immune?
immune.
immune, right? Thank you.
Oh,
Um,
Oh,
because like I was like, is he immune? I mean,
wouldn't that be something?
it would have been really interesting because like then he would have had to have died a different way, you know?
right.
Yeah. Yeah. True. I don't really know how long it takes from when you get bitten to when you actually turn. But it seems like it takes a little bit. So, I don't know. I mean, so we know now exactly what happened, why there was a rift between Ellie and Joel. And you know, we are going to, I believe from what Sandra said, next week is
Next week is the season
the
finale.
finale.
Already?
That's
Yep.
what I said.
Stop
I
it.
didn't see the
I
coming
didn't realize
attractions for the
that.
next episode, so
I
Dude.
saw the preview for the next episode after, and it's the season finale.
so it's short
Oh, that's
this
really
season, but it's the end. I don't know if they plan to have Ellie get Abby this next episode.
Right.
I honestly don't know what happened at the end of the game and if Abby was taken out or not. I don't know. So, it'll be interesting to see what they do
Yeah.
the last episode. Is the last episode gonna be longer? Maybe an hour and a half or something? Or hour and
Well, that's
15?
Oh, I hope
possible.
It
so.
might be
I
a
hope
little
so. I feel like
longer.
there's too many things.
I feel like there's too many
Yeah.
things. So I don't know. Are they gonna
I
save
know,
stuff for season three if there's a season three? You know,
Yeah.
they gotta show Dina with having the baby, and they have to
right?
have like Jesse finding out and stuff like that. So I
I mean,
don't.
if Dina survives,
There is as far as I know,
I don't
the
know.
with the game, there's uh, obviously The Last of Us Part Two, which season two is
It's based on.
is based on. But I don't know. Going further, they're gonna start having to make up shit. Like I don't know, or there's more things that happen
Happen
in part two of the game that
that they're gonna
they'll
drag
and
on.
put in a season
Right.
three.
That's
I
possible.
don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know anything that's happening from this point on. If they're mimicking the game, I don't know anything that's happening next. So, I mean, we'll see. But I thought, this episode was great. Really great to see Joel back on the screen
Yeah.
and to
Oh, Joel, he can't sing for shit, but it was very sweet.
Yeah. It was,
and really really nice for them to fill out all up all the holes
so,
that
yeah.
Also,
Yeah, for
Joel,
sure.
you could be my daddy. I'm just saying.
All right, let's finish this up. Um, guys, thank you so much for checking out our podcast here. Again, we are the Horrorflick Chicks, and this is the Horrorflick Chicks podcast. We are here on our YouTube channel. The videos are up. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to our channel. And we are also, the Horrorflick Chicks podcast is also streaming on several audio platforms, so you can check us out anywhere you listen to podcasts. And we'll be back next week recapping the season finale of season two. I
Yep.
can't believe it.
Follow us on social media.
Follow us on social media as well. We're on
Instagram,
Instagram,
Facebook,
Facebook,
Threads,
TikToks,
and
and Threads.
TikTok.
Yes, all of those.
You get
And
all of that, guys?
all of that. And until next time, we're going to sign out. And it's Sonia, Sandra, and Andrew saying peace, love, and horror.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.
Meow.
That's the end.